Hi, it's Oa and welcome back to my channel for another bullet journal video. And today I will be sharing with you guys 10 spreads that are useful in everyday life as a young adult trying to learn how to be an adult. As I am 18 myself, I am still trying to figure all of this life stuff myself, so I thought I would try to compile a list of all the spreads that are useful and that I would find useful in my everyday life and share them with you. And as always, if you are interested in any of the supply that I will be using, you will be able to find them in the description box down below, as well as a link to get 10% off your own notebook with Dingbats, which are the company that I get my notebooks from. So let's jump straight into this video with my first spread, which is When Did I Last?, which you probably already saw on Pinterest. It is a pretty well-known spread now, and the way it is commonly used is to put the date when you did things that you don't commonly do really often, to keep track of when you did it last. So for example, cleaning your windows or cleaning your fridge or any other household task that you would do periodically throughout the year but not on a constant basis, so you don't forget when you did it last. And it's also a good reminder that you are supposed to do those things once in a while when you see the spread. I also thought I should mention that this journal is not my daily journal that I use, so all those spreads I make them for the videos, so I usually fill them in with examples. So I just wanted to redo what I added in those spreads as examples. So I did change toothbrush, clean my wheelchair because I am a permanent wheelchair user, my legs are paralyzed. I also have a wash Skylar's toys. I have almost a year and a half puppy, and I need to clean her toys once in a while. And I also have deep clean my room, but obviously you could have a lot more than that, and you can be as creative as you want with this kind of spread. So moving on to the next spread, which is one that I do use on a daily basis, and that is an expense tracker. Obviously it's pretty self-explanatory. It is used to track your expenses. So I did just a full page wide table, and I have a few columns. I have one for the date, which is all the way on the left, and then I have a description to explain what the expense is, and then a column for whether it was a need or a want, and then if it was a positive, so if it was any source of income or birthday money or anything like that, and if it was something that you spent. So really practical. Obviously it's only a one-page spread in here. I would recommend having multiple or once for every month. I personally have one yearly because I don't really leave my house. I don't have a lot of expenses, but and also I still live with my parents at home. But if you want to keep track of a budget, or you want to see exactly how much money you spent, then I would recommend having one for every month, or having a budget tracker, which is another type of expense tracker that is a little bit more specific with taxes and fixed expenses, bills, and stuff like that. So that it is for this one, and then we have another money type spread. I thought I would put them together. and it is a savings tracker, which I will be using this one. So I used small increments and all of that. But basically I just wrote savings tracker in the middle of the page and added a bunch of circles. I actually did, I don't know how many circles, but in the end the goal is 300 bucks to be saved. So you basically just color it every time you save money. So it could be putting it in a separate bank account to have it on the side and know that the money is somewhere for, I don't know, something you want to buy, something specific, or an emergency fund, which is really important to have an emergency fund. If anything ever happens, you know that you have that money on the side. For mine, I did a really tiny increments and I struggled to actually find the numbers. So basically I did it in pencil and already added the numbers in pencil, and I really wanted to fill them in order, so it took me forever to find all of the numbers. So that's what you're seeing me now trying to do, because I was not having a good time. But yeah, savings tracker is always good. There's obviously a lot of different layouts. I'm pretty sure anyone who's been on Pinterest already saw the jar ones. So you would fill on the jar. Same utility, just another way of making it. I just wanted to try this out and I just love coloring it in. So I thought it would be good motivation for myself to save up some money. And I actually don't have a job or anything, but I do take surveys online, which usually pay money. It's not a lot, it's like $1 per survey, but it does add up at the end of the month. So that's how I will be saving for this year. And for the next tracker that we have, it is a apparently I can't talk. Subscription tracker. It is obviously all in the name. It is a tracker to have all of your subscriptions at the same place and be able to keep track of them on a yearly basis, and to be able to see exactly how much we spend every month on subscription, because it may seem like a $5 subscription is not a lot, but if you have 10 of those, it does add up quite quickly. So as a young adult trying to live off not much money usually, except if you really found a good job, I think it's really important to keep track of those types of things. So the way I design it is I just have headers at the top and I would write underneath. So I have a description, so what it is, so Netflix or Amazon Prime or anything like that, the frequency, the amount, and the start date, so you know when you actually subscribe to it. And eventually, if you want to, you could add if there's an end date, or you could replace the start date with the day that you are credited, so you can remember if you actually want to cancel that subscription when you need to do it to not be charged another month. So yeah, that's just a little pro tip. And then what you can see me do now is a password tracker. I wouldn't recommend keeping this in a journal that you take with you absolutely everywhere. But if it's just a sheet of paper that you hide somewhere in your house and you just do it like this, I would say it's pretty safe. But I always forget my passwords, I have them on my phone written with like a password to get to it. But I am really bad at passwords, so obviously you could have them there. So for your Wi-Fi passwords, if you have it in your bullet journal, I would just recommend those that are not actually not safe. But other than that, it's not a big deal. But yeah, I have for a space for the website, an email, the username, and the password chosen. It's a little small, so you could use 2 rows to write if needed, but yeah, that's just the way I did it. And then I am a little late already on the next spread, which is a meal idea page. This is basically a brain dump, and it would be used to write all the meals that you like, and you will see a little bit afterwards why I did that page here. But basically there is a whole page with 2 columns to write all the meals and a little section at the bottom to write sides. So you could write like lasagna, pasta, I don't know, any kind, tomato pasta or anything that you enjoy, because sometimes when you actually are meal planning or trying to see what to eat, you don't have a lot of idea coming right to mind. So it's a good idea to be able to flick back to this page and actually see like what you like, or just ideas, something. You could have 2 pages like that, with one with meals that you actually want to try but never did, and then you can just in the little boxes have different symbols if you liked it, if you don't like it, anything like that, and it keeps track of all the meals idea that you can reference back to find what you want to eat. And the reason why I added this spread here is because the second side of this spread, so on the right side, on the right page, I have a meal planner. So I am someone who needs to know in advance what I'm gonna be eating, just because it's a stress thing. I don't like not being perfectly aware and not being perfectly prepared. So what I did is, on the far left side, I have a space for every single day of the week. And then at the top, going across, I have a section for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which is perfect to meal plan every single day, especially for young students, to keep track of how many times a week you eat certain foods, and to try and keep a little bit of a balanced diet, I would say. So yeah, I really think it's I don't know, I put a lot of thought into making this spread. I really want it to be something functional and super easy and fast to make. Another quick tip would be to use post-its. For every meal, you could use a post-it, or even have post-it notes on the side. So on the other page, for each line, one of those little post-its with the meal written on it, and you can just take a post-it from the list and put it into the meal planner. Much easier, which means that you only need 1 meal planner and you can use it for a month ahead. So next we have going same with the food theme, is a master grocery list. Obviously this is a smaller version because I think that it's maybe a little small, but I wanted to keep it as a 1-page spread for this video, but this is just to give you an idea. Basically I divided sections, so I have one for fruit and veggies, one for meat and dairy, one for frozen, and one for miscellaneous / others. So you can actually see, and usually because in the stores it is separated into different sections, you can just see what you need by sections. If you go always to the same grocery store, you could organized by section of the store that you like to go to. But basically, it just helps to know exactly what you need in which sections, so you don't have to go back and forth in the store because you didn't see that at the bottom of your list you had something that you needed earlier in the store. And to go with the grocery list, I added a pantry inventory, which I think those two really work together because I did a column for item quantity of that item, best by date, and you can check in the little boxes in the side when you need more of. So if you have both of these in your planner that you always have in your bag anyways, then once you're in the store looking at your grocery list, you can also see what you already have or what you would need from a longer term storage. So for example, if you are running low on pasta or flour, sugar, or anything that is usually a little bit in stock in the pantry that you can forget about getting more. So it's a good way to not forget to buy more of those items and to not buy more if you don't actually need some of that. So we can move on to my final spread, which is an important contact, so it's pretty self-explanatory. I have a section for name, address, email, and phone number. I would use this for professors if you're still in school, or anyone important at work or family members. So even if you don't have your phone, you still have a way of contacting them. So yeah, that's pretty much all of it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and also to like this video and check out all of my social medias in the description box down below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!